Listen, my dears, today I will teach you rules for ray diagram for concave and convex mirror. Okay, first, my dears, I will show you there are three main rules. This side, I will show you, my dears, rules for concave mirror, rules for ray diagram for concave mirror. And that side, my dears, I will show you rules for ray diagram for convex mirror. First rule is, my dears, first I will draw diagram of concave mirror. As we know, my dears, concave mirror is a spherical mirror. It is part of a sphere whose outward surface is polished and reflection occurs on inward surface. My dears, this is part of a sphere. My dears, see, this is part of a sphere. So the center of a sphere is known as center of curvature. And center of a reflecting surface is known as pole of the mirror. Imaginary line which passes through center of curvature and pole of the mirror is known as principal axis. Now rule number one is, my dears, if an incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, this is an incident ray, this ray. Suppose, my dears, there is an object, candle is here, and incident ray will come from this candle, and this incident ray is parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, my dears, it will pass through principal focus. This point is known as principal focus. This is rule number one. Suppose one will take one more incident ray at this side, so it will get after reflection, it will pass through principal focus. That is why concave mirror is known as converging mirror. Means reflected rays converge on principal focus. Now, my dear, this is rule number one. Rule number second is, my dears, again I will draw, my dears, concave mirror. Outward surface is polished, and my dears, inward surface is reflecting surface. Suppose this point is center of curvature. There is principal focus between center of curvature and pole of the mirror. Second rule is, sir, if incident ray is not parallel to the principal axis, this time if incident ray is directed towards the principal focus, is that incident ray. Sir, what will be the direction of the reflected ray? Reflected ray will be parallel to the principal axis. This is rule number second. And my dears, rule number third is, my dears, I will draw here. I will show you rule number third here. This is, my dears, concave mirror. This is an imaginary line which passes through center of curvature and pole of the mirror known as principal axis. Between center of curvature and pole of the mirror is principal focus. Rule number third is, sir, if incident ray is directed towards the center of curvature like this, what will be the direction of the reflected ray? Direction of the reflected ray, my dears, will be the same as that of the direction of the incident ray. Will move in the same direction. So, my dears, these are three rules for ray diagram for concave mirror. First one is, if incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, direction of the reflected ray is, reflected ray will move, my dears, through principal focus. Rule number second is, my dears, if incident ray, it will pass through principal focus. Direction of the reflected ray, my dears, reflected ray will be parallel to the principal axis. Rule number three is, my dears, if incident ray will pass is directed towards the center of curvature, will pass through center of curvature, my dears, direction of the reflected ray will be the same. Now I will show you, my dears, rules for ray diagram for convex mirror. My dear, this is convex mirror. Convex mirror is mirror. First, I will show you rule number one for ray diagram for convex mirror. Convex mirror is mirror whose inward surface is polished. This surface is polished. Reflection occurs, my dears, on outward surface, on this surface. And my dears, suppose this is the pole of the mirror. This is, my dears, principal axis. This is center of curvature. Center of curvature. There is, my dears, principal focus. Rule number 1 is, sir, if incident reflection will occur on outward surface. If incident ray is parallel to the principal axis. This is an incident ray. Sir, what is the direction of reflected ray? Reflected ray will pass through principal focus? No. Direction of reflected ray will be like this, my dears. Will move away from principal focus. And my dears, principal focus is, we show this, my dears, by dotted line behind the mirror. That's why convex mirror is known as diverging mirror. A divergent, reflected rays get us diverge. Second rule is, my dears, this rule. This is convex mirror. My dears, principal axis. This is pole of the mirror. There is principal focus, center of curvature. Second rule is, sir, if incident ray is directed towards the principal focus, if incident ray is directed towards the principal focus, my dear, direction of the reflected ray will be, the reflected ray will be parallel to the principal axis, like this. And rule number 3 is, my dears, this is convex mirror. Principal axis, pole of the mirror, center of curvature, principal focus. Sir, if direction of incident ray is directed towards the center of curvature, what will be the direction of the reflected ray? My dear, direction of reflected ray, the reflected ray will move in the same direction, back in the same direction. These are the 3 rules for ray diagram for convex mirror. Stop.